Welcome back to SnowRunner. In this video I want to go through 20 bugs that have ruined this game so far. Some of them do kind of link into others and they're not game breaking, some of them can be funny, but it's kind of irritating how much the developers are... I mean, I don't know if they are, like, if you could class them as ignoring the community, but it's definitely frustrating how PC have had 2 hotfixes since launch and console has had nothing. And alongside that, they've mentioned in the update notes, I believe one of the updates for PS4 was supposed to come a few days ago, but they've stated they are working on bug fixes for PS4 and haven't said a word about Xbox. The only thing they have said about Xbox in terms of fixes and stuff is that all platforms will be looked at more later down the line, which is probably going to mean after the 4th time map's released. So consoles are being heavily neglected on this game, and starting off the list, number 1, disconnects are happening with every single watchtower we were unlocking. We've done them all now, but I will put a clip up on screen of being disconnected from the game as soon as I unlock a watchtower. It was so frustrating, especially when you're in Taimyr. You start off in Drowned Lands. You go all the way through the quarry, then you go through to Zimnegorsk. When you get to Zimnegorsk, you get all the way down to the bottom of the map, and then all of a sudden you hit the watchtower, you're disconnected. So you have to go back to Drowned Lands, go back through quarry, then back into Zimnegorsk, and see what you've explored. Bear in mind, I only play co-op, so these are co-op bugs. I don't know if they will be affecting players in single player. But number 2 is the fact that trailers are dropping through bridges. Again, another clip of this in action. This actually happened to Pete as he was driving across the bridge from the factory on his way back up to the garage over in Zimnegorsk in Taimyr. His trailer decided to drop through the bridge when he had metal planks on there. And what made that even worse is the fact that the trailer managed to pull itself back up, but the metal planks had already fallen out. One was floating mid-air, one was sat in the river. Number 3 is the fact that terrain randomly disappears. You can be driving down the road and all of a sudden the terrain will just... It won't be there anymore. There'll be massive holes and craters and stuff that you create. It makes the journey incredibly bumpy and horrible, and I believe it's a bug. It shouldn't be happening based on the movement that's happened around that terrain. Number 4 is the fact that, this one I've only experienced recently, ever since using the Tega 6436, but a lot of the time it seems that the truck has no power, no matter how much I accelerate, and sometimes, the wheels just don't move, and sometimes they even spin backwards whilst I'm trying to move forwards. Number 5 is cargo duplication. It speaks for itself. You could drop some wooden planks on the side of the road and 2 will turn into 8. It's not even a double with stupid amounts of duplication. Bug number 6 is truck duplication. Exactly the same thing as cargo, except trucks duplicate in your garage. You can sell the duplicates for money, but it's frustrating because you shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff. A lot of people have used that to their advantage to have all the money they want in the game, and it just completely takes away from the purpose of playing the game in the first place. Number 7 is you can actually utilize this for your advantage, but again, it ruins the gameplay experience. If you're in your truck, you can go to the map, go to global map, go to a different area, a different map from the one you're playing on, move to that garage, don't recover, just click on the garage entrance and then click again. It's going to take you through the loading screen to that map, put you into the garage, then use the map, go back to the one you are on, then go back into your truck. It will be fully repaired and fully refueled. So it completely removes the purpose of service trailers and stuff. You don't need to use them in the game. Yes, I've taken advantage of that one quite a few times. I haven't done the truck duplication one purposely, although it has happened that I've sold the trucks. But the amount of time I've played and it always being in a co-op session, I've made enough money anyway. The garage one and fully repairing and refueling just helps out and saves you needing to do things, but again, it's still a bug. It takes away from the experience. It's annoying. Bug number 8 is tasks not rewarding any money or XP. This happens with contracts as well. It doesn't happen too often, but there has been a few times in Minecon and Pete's play sessions where someone is not awarded money or the XP for completing a task. Number 9 is pretty much just a UI bug, but when you get to level 29 it will show you that you have 4100 out of 4100 XP, and I even posted a picture up in the community post to say I've hit the max level. Turns out there is a level 30, and it does the same thing. We don't know if the levels carry on because we haven't done enough contracts since, but it's bugged and it doesn't show you your XP progression through level 29. Number 10, tasks not being able to be reset. There is a task over in Smithville Dam, Michigan, called Across the River, where you have to basically just get hold of a trailer, take it across the river. That's task complete. When I was trying to do that one in Con's game, I kind of fell off the little rocks that you go across, and my trailer and my truck just floated all the way down to the dam. It was quite far, but we tried resetting the task and it didn't work. We found out you can only do that through single player, so we backed out of the session. Con went into single player, tried restarting it, and it just says that the truck spawn is blocked. Even though it's not a truck, it's a trailer that you respawn. It just won't respawn it, so we can't do anything. That task is fully broken. Number 11, truck restoring tasks are not showing correct figures for players in the game except for the host. The host is the only one that can complete them. For an example, I believe there's a GMC at the very south side of Smithville Dam. If you go over there with a service trailer in a co-op session, you repair it, you refuel it. I believe it's the refueling is going to get stuck on 99% even though you've completely filled it up. What you'll need to do is get the host to go down there. They will have to hook up to the truck and restore it or recover it or do something with it. And pretty much every single one of those tasks has a bug where it doesn't show the full stats and it never completes for players besides the host. Number 12, upgrades do not show on players' maps unless you're the host again of the co-op session. You literally won't see them. Con's been having to send us pictures of where they are so that we can go out and get them because they just don't show up. Number 13, stats are displayed incorrectly when you look at your driver profile. Because for Con it shows 4 upgrades when most or all of them have been collected. It does the same with money and stuff. If you just look at your driver profile, it's all over the place. Number 14, in general there are a lot of game crashes, but in Alaska it's horrible. That is where we experienced by far the most. There was literally a contract, we got lucky enough to complete it. It crashed about 3 or 4 times in a row and it was travelling from map to map. So it was annoying to just keep loading back in, trying to do the same thing, and it just crashed time and time again. Number 15 is unable to see cargo until it's packed in a trailer and you can't pack it on a friend's truck. So if you need to use a crane to do something, you will not be able to see the cargo until, let's just say Con is out doing something and he's lifting up cargo. I won't be able to see it until it's packed in a trailer. And if the trailer is attached to my truck, Con won't be able to pack it. I have to detach, Con has to attach to the trailer, pack the cargo, detach the trailer, I can pick up the trailer. It's just a long, really long-winded process. It shouldn't work like that, but it does. Number 16, after crashes or disconnects when we've loaded back into sessions, trucks are randomly disappearing, and it happens quite often. It wastes a lot of money. We still haven't got them back to this day. We've literally just had to buy more. We're lucky the truck duplication thing worked, because otherwise we would be bankrupt by now. Number 17 is trailers going missing after disconnects, and if you go to the trailer store, it says you own that trailer, although again is nowhere to be seen. Number 18, and I don't know how many trucks this happens for, but the fuel consumption is miles off for the Taiga or the Azov. The Taiga 6436 and the Azov 64131. We've tried multiple setups of the trucks, having them stock and stuff. They have exactly the same stat. I believe it's B plus or B minus or something like that, but they have exactly the same stat for their fuel consumption. Yet if you jump in the Azov, it uses no more than about 8 or 10 litres per minute. If you jump in the Taiga, it's using up to 17 litres. There is such a big difference, and we did a test. We went from Drownedland's garage up to the northmost gateway to Quarry in Taimir, so it's exactly the same distance covered. The Taiga used 60 litres of fuel, whilst the Azov used 35 with an upgraded engine which actually eats more. But the stock engine, which has the same stats, only used about 28 or 29 litres. So that's a little over double the fuel consumed, even though they have exactly the same stat. Number 19 is loading into a new map at the same time as your friends will cause your trucks to glitch, and sometimes they'll fly across the map. The same with trailers. So if you are playing and you are travelling to different maps, you've got cargo, you need to go from, let's say, Black River to Smithville Dam. If you've got cargo and it's a long drive, make sure you communicate with the people you're playing with to go through at different times and make sure they're out of the way, because if not, it's going to just send your cargo miles away and it's going to mess up your entire task or contract or whatever you're doing. And then the final one is losing connection during a task will cause the cargo for that task to spawn in the middle of the air outside of the map. Again, similar to Across the River in Michigan. In Alaska this time around, I believe it's in Northport, although I'm not 100% sure. There is a task called Lost Tube, and that is literally, like, it's so ironic because it's literally lost now. It's floating in the air and it's outside of the map. We cannot do anything with that, and again, it fails to restart. So that was pretty much about 5 or 10 minutes of thinking of bugs. I could probably think of more if I put more time into it. But the fact that this is like a £45 game, £60 for deluxe or premium edition, it's an expensive game, and I understand games are hard to develop and they have teething problems and stuff, but for there to be a list of 20 bugs that have been experienced within the first 2 weeks of launch and no hot fixes for console, no nothing for console, it's just a little bit frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong, some of these can be funny, but a lot of the time, especially if you've done a lot of driving, and then all of a sudden you have to start that journey all over again because of a bug or a crash or a disconnect or something, it's very tedious, it's annoying, and eventually it's going to start pissing players off and they're not going to want to play. So I do believe the developers need to hurry up with some fixes for console as well as PC, but they need to do something at least for console very, very soon. And on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and also any other bugs that you've experienced and I haven't, or me and my friends haven't. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.